Imagine a world without the iPhone, the iPad, or the MacBook. It's almost unthinkable, isn't it? Behind these revolutionary devices was a man whose vision forever changed how we interact with technology, Steve Jobs. Known as a visionary, innovator, and sometimes a controversial figure, Jobs' life was a remarkable journey of passion, creativity, and relentless determination. But who was Steve Jobs beyond the stage lights and sleek product launches? Today, we delve into the extraordinary life of a man who reshaped the modern world. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California. His biological parents, Joanne Schiebel and Abdul Fattah Jandali, were unmarried college students who made the difficult decision to place him for adoption. Paul and Clara Jobs, a modest working-class couple, welcomed Steve into their home, raising him in Mountain View, an area that would later become Silicon Valley. Paul Jobs, a machinist and craftsman, introduced young Steve to the world of mechanics and engineering, fostering his curiosity and ingenuity. However, Steve's school years were anything but conventional. He was a precocious and restless child, often bored by traditional education. Teachers noticed his potential but struggled with his rebellious nature. As a teenager, Steve's world began to expand. The counterculture movement of the 1960s, the burgeoning technology scene in Silicon Valley, and his growing interest in spirituality shaped his outlook. By the time he graduated high school, Jobs was already a curious blend of idealism, technical aptitude, and a desire to push boundaries. In the early 1970s, Steve Jobs met Steve Wozniak through a mutual friend. Wozniak, or Woz as he was affectionately called, was an engineering genius with a knack for building electronics. The two quickly bonded over their shared love for technology and their dream of creating something revolutionary. Little did they know, their collaboration would forever change the world of computing. The idea for Apple was born in Jobs' family garage in Los Altos, California. With limited resources but boundless ambition, Jobs and Wozniak co-founded Apple Computer Inc. On April 1, 1976, along with a third partner, Ronald Wayne, who left the company shortly after. Their first product, the Apple I, was a rudimentary personal computer hand-assembled by Wozniak and marketed by Jobs. Although primitive by today's standards, it was a groundbreaking product for its time, offering ordinary people access to personal computing. However, it was their second product, the Apple II, released in 1977, that truly put Apple on the map. With a user-friendly interface, color graphics, and sleek design, the Apple II became one of the first commercially successful personal computers. Jobs' visionary marketing strategies, combined with Wozniak's technical brilliance, catapulted Apple into the spotlight, laying the foundation for its rise to prominence. By the early 1980s, Apple was a force to be reckoned with. But Jobs wasn't satisfied with success. He wanted to revolutionize the way people interacted with technology. This drive would lead to the creation of a product that was years ahead of its time, the Macintosh. In 1984, Steve Jobs introduced the world to the Macintosh, or Mac, a computer that would redefine personal computing. Unlike anything on the market, the Macintosh featured a graphical user interface, allowing users to interact with icons and a mouse instead of complex text commands. Jobs was determined to make technology more accessible, intuitive, and personal, and the Mac embodied this vision. The product launch was equally groundbreaking. Apple's now iconic 1984 Super Bowl ad, directed by Ridley Scott, captured global attention. It wasn't just an advertisement, it was a declaration that Apple was here to challenge the norm and usher in a new era of computing. However, despite its revolutionary design, the Macintosh initially struggled in the market due to high costs and limited software support. The mid-1980s brought both triumph and turbulence for Jobs. As Apple grew, so did internal conflicts. Jobs' demanding leadership style and relentless perfectionism clashed with other executives. In 1985, these tensions culminated in a dramatic power struggle, leading to Jobs being ousted from the company he co-founded. For many, this would have been the end. But for Steve Jobs, it was a turning point, a chance to start anew. Jobs went on to create NXT, a company focused on building high-performance computers for businesses and academia. While NXT computers didn't achieve commercial success, the company's innovative software later became the foundation for Mac OS, the operating system that powers Apple devices today. During this time, Jobs also acquired a small graphics division from George Lucas. This division, Pixar, would revolutionize the entertainment industry with its groundbreaking computer-animated films, starting with Toy Story in 1995. These years away from Apple allowed Jobs to grow as a leader and innovator, setting the stage for his triumphant return to the company in 1997. What followed was nothing short of a golden era in technology. By the mid-1990s, Apple was in serious trouble. The company that had once dominated personal computing was now facing declining sales, poor management decisions, and dwindling relevance. Many industry experts doubted Apple's ability to survive. But in 1997, a pivotal event changed everything. Steve Jobs returned. After Apple acquired NXT for $429 million, Jobs rejoined the company as an advisor. Within months, he became interim CEO, bringing with him a bold vision to transform Apple from a floundering company into a powerhouse of innovation. Jobs wasted no time. He cut unprofitable product lines, streamlined operations, and refocused the company on what he believed Apple did best, creating exceptional products. One of his first major moves was introducing the iMac in 1998. Designed with vibrant colors and a user-friendly interface, the iMac was a breath of fresh air in a sea of dull, beige computers. It wasn't just a computer, it was a statement. The iMac was an instant success, selling millions of units and restoring Apple's financial health and public image. Jobs didn't stop there. Over the next decade, he spearheaded the creation of products that would revolutionize entire industries. The iPod, launched in 2001, changed the way we listen to music. With its sleek design and massive storage capacity, it quickly became a cultural phenomenon. In 2003, Jobs introduced the iTunes Store, giving users a legal, easy way to purchase digital music, a move that reshaped the music industry. But perhaps his most transformative creation came in 2007 with the introduction of the iPhone. Combining a phone, an iPod, and an internet device, the iPhone was unlike anything the world had seen. It redefined mobile communication and set the standard for all smartphones that followed. Then, in 2010, Jobs unveiled the iPad, pioneering the tablet market and further cementing Apple's dominance. Under Jobs' leadership, Apple became a symbol of innovation, blending cutting-edge technology with elegant design. His emphasis on simplicity, functionality, and the user experience set Apple apart from its competitors. Jobs wasn't just selling products, he was selling a vision of how technology could enhance our lives. The 2000s marked the golden era of Steve Jobs' career and Apple's ascent to becoming one of the most valuable companies in the world. Jobs' ability to predict market trends and create products people didn't even know they needed became his hallmark. His leadership style, demanding, meticulous, and deeply passionate, pushed Apple to achieve excellence in every facet of its operations. Jobs wasn't just a CEO, he was a showman, a storyteller, and a master of the art of presentation. His keynote speeches, known as Steve Notes, became legendary. With a minimalist style, a black turtleneck, and an unmatched ability to captivate audiences, Jobs turned product launches into global events. Phrases like "one more thing" and "revolutionary" became synonymous with his presentations. During this period, Apple introduced some of its most iconic products. In 2008, Jobs unveiled the MacBook Air, the world's thinnest laptop, pulling it out of a manila envelope to demonstrate its sleek design. The App Store, launched the same year, revolutionized software distribution and created an entirely new ecosystem for developers. Each product wasn't just a gadget, it was a reflection of Jobs' vision for the future. What set Jobs apart was his relentless pursuit of perfection. He was deeply involved in every detail, from product design to packaging. Former colleagues often described him as exacting and uncompromising, but his high standards drove Apple to deliver products that consistently exceeded expectations. Jobs' mantra, "It's not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works," became the core philosophy of Apple's success. Under his leadership, Apple not only transformed technology but also reshaped culture. The iPhone and iPad became symbols of modernity, innovation, and connectivity, while the Apple brand itself grew into a global phenomenon. But behind the scenes, Jobs' health was becoming a growing concern. Diagnosed with a rare form of pancreatic cancer in 2004, he faced a battle that would define his later years. Despite his illness, Jobs continued to lead Apple with unparalleled dedication, unveiling new products and guiding the company to unprecedented heights. In 2004, Steve Jobs was diagnosed with a rare form of pancreatic neuroendocrine cancer. True to his private nature, he initially kept his illness a secret, seeking alternative treatments before eventually undergoing surgery. Despite his declining health, Jobs continued to work tirelessly, remaining at the helm of Apple during some of its most groundbreaking moments. In 2009, his health visibly worsened, leading to a 6-month medical leave. During this time, Jobs underwent a liver transplant, a testament to the seriousness of his condition. However, he returned to Apple later that year, presenting a resilient image to the public and continuing to oversee the company's operations. Even as his health deteriorated, Jobs unveiled products like the iPad 2 and the revolutionary iCloud, further solidifying Apple's dominance. In 2011, Jobs made the difficult decision to step down as CEO, naming Tim Cook as his successor. In his resignation letter, he wrote, "I believe Apple's brightest, most innovative days are ahead of it." This transition marked the end of an era, but Jobs' influence remained deeply ingrained in the company's DNA. On October 5, 2011, Steve Jobs passed away at the age of 56, surrounded by his family at his home in Palo Alto, California. His death sparked an outpouring of tributes from around the globe. People gathered outside Apple stores to light candles and leave flowers, and leaders from various industries hailed him as one of the greatest innovators of all time. Jobs' legacy extends far beyond Apple's products. He was a pioneer who merged art and technology, a visionary who believed in the power of creativity, and a leader who inspired millions to think different. His Stanford commencement speech in 2005 remains one of the most iconic addresses of all time, where he urged graduates to stay hungry, stay foolish. These words encapsulate his philosophy, a relentless drive to push boundaries and defy expectations. Today, Jobs' influence can be seen everywhere, from the smartphones in our pockets to the way companies prioritize design and user experience. His vision didn't just change Apple, it reshaped the way the world interacts with technology. Steve Jobs wasn't just an innovator, he was a cultural icon whose legacy continues to inspire future generations. Steve Jobs' life was a story of creativity, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. From a humble garage in Los Altos to the heights of global innovation, Jobs revolutionized not just one industry, but many: personal computing, music, telecommunications, and even animation. His ability to see possibilities where others saw limitations set him apart as a true visionary. Jobs was not without his flaws. His perfectionism, intense demands, and sometimes abrasive leadership style left their mark on those around him. Yet these very traits were also key to his success. Jobs never settled for mediocrity. He always sought to create something extraordinary, something that would put a dent in the universe. His journey was a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and thinking differently. Jobs' life reminds us that success is not a straight path, it's a winding road filled with challenges, failures, and triumphs. What mattered most was his ability to learn, adapt, and keep moving forward. Today, his legacy lives on in every sleek Apple product, every Pixar film, and in the countless lives he touched through his innovations. But perhaps his greatest legacy is the inspiration he left behind, the belief that with vision, hard work, and a willingness to challenge the status quo, we too can change the world. As we reflect on the life of Steve Jobs, we're reminded of his parting words to the Stanford graduating class: "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." And indeed, Steve Jobs lived a life uniquely his own, a life that changed ours forever. If you found this biography fascinating, help us click the subscribe icon, like, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the lives of influential historical figures, only on the Bio Network.